Hello, everyone. I hope that you can join me in our Google Hangout this afternoon. I'm in a different place today and using a different network. So there could be a lag in what we're talking about. I'm going to wait a few minutes and see if we can get some other viewers to join us. And then we're going to start talking about Mindomo. So I'm going to be patient here and hope that others will join me here in a minute. I think we're finally getting the hang of Google Hangouts, and I hope that you've been enjoying our weekly broadcast. This is broadcast number 4. We've had actually 6 previous ones, but we've been using the same topic for the Thursday and Friday Google Hangouts. Let me review a few things while we're waiting for viewers. Hello, to all get in the Hangout. So we're going to begin week 5 of our MOOC starting on Sunday. We're just now finishing up week 4, and I hope that you've been working on your final project. We've answered a lot of questions in the past 2 days about the final project in our online office hours. So I hope that you've been able to join us for that and that you've enjoyed some interaction with the powerful tools for teaching and learning team. By Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, you should upload your final project using the final project template. At the end of our broadcast today, I'll be answering any questions that you might have about the final project. But let me also remind you that there is a discussion forum online that answers questions about the final project or any questions that you might have about the course. So let's talk just a little bit about what we're going to do today by reviewing what we've done for the first 3 weeks of our Google Hangouts. Each week, the team has chosen a tool that's representative of a easy-to-use Web 2.0 tool that does have free access, even though it may be limited to the tool, and has some specific educational value that we think would make it a great tool to use in your classroom. So if you remember, we've reviewed 3 tools. I'm not going to tell you what they are because we may have a test question about that next week. Who knows? But this week, we're going to talk about Mindomo. And I hope that you're familiar with the term mind mapping, because that really is the basis for Mindomo. Mind mapping is also called concept mapping, and it involves the process of distilling an idea down into its component parts, much like creating an outline. But mind mapping, I think, is much more popular and interactive than just regular drawing a map or creating an outline. Mind mapping also shows relationships between entities. So you can create a mind map around a central topic and then subtopics around that and so forth. It's a great exercise to help your students really understand the structure of a topic. And when you use Mindomo, students can create their own maps, or they can complete maps that you've set up for them so that you provide a little of the structure. That's especially good for younger students. So I'm going to start some screen sharing and show you the basics of Mindomo, and we'll walk through that. And then as I'm talking, I've turned on the questions and answers part of Google Hangouts. So if you'd like to ask a question, please go ahead and post it over there in the question and answer side. I hope that you can see that. So let me start screen sharing here and walk you through some of Mindomo's features. Just hold on 1 second. Let me get that set up for you. Okay, I think I'm ready. So I hope that you can see on the screen now is a screenshot of the Mindomo website. When you create an account in Mindomo, and remember that's www.mindomo.com, it will ask you when you sign up whether you're a student, a teacher, or you're going to use it professionally. Be sure and check teacher, because that kind of account will give you access to a great many Mindomo features that you can use in your courses. So this is the initial screen that you'll see in Mindomo. And let's talk our way around this interface for a little bit. You'll notice that Mindomo is also available for Google Drive, and you can install it in your Google Drive. We're not going to talk specifically about that today. We're going to be a little more basic than that. So over here on the left side of the screen, you'll see the main menu shows maps that are owned by you, maps that are shared by you, and then this thing called Smart Maps. So we're going to look at Smart Maps first. I'm just going to click that, and you'll see that another menu comes up here on the right, and the category here is education. You can also click the business category, but let's look at the education smart maps to begin with. We're just going to scroll down, and I'm going to talk a little bit about them, and then we'll look a little more closely at one or two. So these are maps that are created by Mindomo, and they are templates that you can ask your students to fill in, or that you could actually fill in as a class exercise. Most of them are for middle school grade levels. That would be in the United States, grades 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that range. But there are a few that are for high school, secondary, and a couple that are lower. So as I'm scrolling down here, you can get a feel for the varieties of different smart maps that are already created. And the one that we started with, practice with today, was the animals of the rainforest. But you can see the variety here of the different maps. So let's scroll back to the rainforest one. That's an easy one to understand. And you just click on View Map, and the objectives and the grade level are here. And if you're using Common Core, if you're in the United States, Common Core is a set of standards. And we'll just click Start Now. So what happens here in this particular map is there's a pop-up window that guides students through completing the map. This is really handy because it leaves you time to talk about other things and not have to guide students one by one through completing the map. And you see there's a bar up here that tells the user how much of the map has already been completed. So the easy way to navigate in this smart map is just to click the buttons forward or back. And when I do that, you get taken to one of the subtopics, which is Central and South America. And already there are 2 animals, rainforest animals, that are identified, the toucan and the sloth. And then the structure here is that you complete characteristics of the toucan that helped him adapt to the rainforest environment. And you can fill this in. I'm going to go ahead and put saw-like bill. And then you can hit tab and you can create another subtopic under here. And we're going to say colorful feathers. So you get an idea of how easy it is to fill in this map. When you say next, it takes you to the next part of the map, which is the forest layer that the toucan belongs to. And you can scroll down here and see what the 4 main areas, 4 main layers of the rainforest is. So you would complete that. Let's see, the toucan probably lives on the canopy layer, I'm going to guess. Complete that, and then I just hit enter, and that takes me over to the next animal, which is the sloth. Now we're not going to spend our time today completing this map, but you can see how that would be a good structure to help your students complete a map like this and to help them structure their thinking about the rainforest. We're going to close this, and I'm just going to show you what this whole map looks like because parts of it have already been filled in. So the 4 main areas that we see for the animals of the rainforest are Central and South America, Asia, Africa, and Australia. And 2 animals for each of those continents have been identified, and the basic structure for the information that students would complete is already there. And you see the bar, we've only completed 6% of this map. So that's a smart map. Now, students, let me just stay on this page for a minute. After they complete that, can save it, can download it, or they can print it as well. Now, you could complete this in class. You could complete it as small groups. You could certainly add more animals to each of these. And then you could actually make it a presentation. I'm going to show you about that in just a minute. So let's leave this page. We're not going to save this map. And we're going to come back to Owned by Me because our Powerful Tools for Teaching and Learning team started a Web 2.0 tools map today, and I want to show you how that looks. So to look at that map, you just click on it. And what that will do is open the map to the last place that we saved today. Now you'll notice some controls over here on the right side. Because a mind map can be as large as you want it to be, sometimes it gets a little difficult to navigate unless you really make that view where you can see the whole map. So we started today by the topic, and we when we said new map, it gave us the option to put these words in: Web 2.0 tools and 21st century skills. And we actually added an image and a link to our new tech site that we've developed. We'll be sharing that with you next week. And we added 3 subtopics: collaboration tools, communication tools, and creativity tools. Now we can add another subtopic simply by clicking this arrow on the right side of the main topic, and we're going to say insert topic, and then all we have to do is type in there. And I'm just going to put project management tools, and you can see I can drag that wherever I want it if I want to arrange it a little different way, and you can always do that. And then you see over here with collaboration tools, we have a subtopic here, and it's kind of hard to see. It says Google Docs, and we've actually incorporated, let's get this a little bigger where we can see it. And you just navigate by dragging that screen around. I can, when I click on this arrow, I can make the text here, let's make it white, and I can make it a little bit bigger where you can actually read those words clearer. And I'm going to make the background maybe yellow. And then, oh, well, I want the text to be black now. That's easy to change. Now, what other thing that I've done is I've added a video here. And this video is a Common Craft video. I'm going to stop that. But you can see that adding a video is really quite easy. I'm going to click, let's do one here with the project management tools so that you can see one started from the very beginning. So I just click on project management tools to select it, and you see it looks different because it has a border around it. And then I'm going to go over here and I can add a note to that. Let's just go ahead and add one. This is the collection of tools that help with project management activities. And then I can just close that, and you see a little note comes up right there. And if you hover over it, it shows you what that note is. I can add a link here and attachments. I can add multimedia. And if I want to add a YouTube video, let's search for project management. Let's see what we find. So you can see it brings up in YouTube 36 different videos about project management. And we'll just add this one. So you can see it's that easy. You can add attachments, you can add URLs, you can add Google Docs. Now some of these options over here on the left menu are only for premium. So don't be disappointed if you want to add something and it just won't work unless you purchase extra. But with this EDU account, I think you'll find it's really handy to have. So I can move that mind map around. I can create even subtopics on here. You see that Google Docs is a type of collaboration tool. Let's add another one. Let me make this a little bigger where you can see it. So I'm going to add another subtopic here. You can see it adds it below there. And let's think about a collaboration tool. I believe we looked at Padlet. I think Padlet would be good as a collaboration tool. And let's talk about font here. Let's make that a little bigger where I can read the word Padlet. I want a background of yellow to match the other. And I want bold text. So you can see that it's very easy to add subtopics, and then you can share this map um, with others. But before we finish with this map, I want to show you one feature that I think will really convince you that Mindomo is a great Web 2.0 tool. Right up here is a button that says Presenter. And if you're familiar with Prezi, this is a Prezi-like interface for Mindomo. You can share your mind map that you've created here through a presentation. So let's just briefly look and see how that works. I'm going to click Presenter. And then you already see that while we were playing with Mindomo today, we created 3 slides. I'm going to take those away and create those again. So let me delete all of these. So this is my mind map. And when I want to present this, I'm going to say, let's insert a slide. And I'm going to say, this is where I want to begin. So I just drag that box, it becomes a 1, that's my first slide. Then I say I want another one, and we're going from there to collaboration tools. So I'm just going to go to this area right here. That becomes slide 2. I'm going to add a slide, and then we're going to talk about Google Docs. That's 3. And then I'm going to add a slide, and I'm going to talk about blogs and communication tools. So obviously, I have done that on the spur of the moment. And if I were really presenting this, I would separate these a little bit so that when I talk about Google Docs, I don't talk about Padlet. But I think you get the idea that I have 4 slides here. And then when I want to see how that looks, I click play the presentation. And what happens in the presentation is that it creates a whole picture of what your mind map looks like. And then it goes from slide to slide, much like Prezi, and you can present just exactly the way that you've set it up there. Oh, and let's go back, because when you present like that, you can play the videos inside your mind map. Remember, they're not there except as an embed, so you'll need an internet connection to play your presentation and also to play your YouTube videos. And then that goes back to the big picture, and I can close. So if I want to create this presentation and show it just from here without using PowerPoint, without using Prezi, any other tool, I can take my mind map directly from mind map to presentation. I think that's pretty cool. So let's go back out of presentation mode and look at how I might save that. So every change that I make, you'll see, is auto-saved. But you can make a copy of it, you can download it, you can print it, and then you can also share it with people. You can also add comments here to this mind map. So I think you're getting the idea of how wonderful a tool Mindomo might be. I'm going to switch back now from our screencast and take back off of screen share here.
Yes.
Back to Sarah.
The presentation is like
there we go.
5 minutes.
So Debbie, thanks for the comment. I do love the presentation part of Mindomo. I think that it's a big bonus for using mind mapping software. When you can use it in a more versatile way. So you can mind map your presentation, you can lay it out, and then you can use your mind map as a presentation tool. So yes, I'm going to give Mindomo a big thumbs up. Um, I didn't see any questions in the Q&A part. So if you have a question, please go ahead and answer it. Zania, I am so glad to see you. I've only seen you in our forum, so it's great that you've joined us this afternoon. I honestly don't know, so I'll have to look that up. I'm assuming that a mind map could be embedded, but I have not actually done that. So I will find the answer to that and put it in our Hangout discussion forum. And maybe even before I find that out, somebody else will post that, because that's really the great part of being in a learning community, when I don't have to be the one doing everything, that the learners can actually be in charge. So I will, let me, yes, so I put your question up there at the top. Thanks for asking it. So in our last 3 minutes today, if you have any questions about the final project, please post those in our Q&A. Otherwise, what I'm going to do in this last few minutes is go over the project requirements with you and make sure that you understand them. Yes, thank you. I would like to present my project with Mindomo too. So also, don't let me neglect to tell you that on the Mindomo site, there are help tutorials. They're really short, but they're to the point, and they guide you through many of the things that we were talking about today. So all you have to do is click the help in the side menu, and you can view those videos. There are also many ideas on the internet for using Mindomo in your school, in your classroom, and ideas on students using them, because when we talk about powerful tools, it's not just powerful tools for teaching, but it's powerful tools for learning. And so keep that in mind. I think that that is one of the strongest features, is when students use these tools. So let me briefly go over the final project information in case you need a refresher. By 11:59 Central Standard Time, that's Texas time, on Saturday, you should have posted your final project as an assignment. You would complete the final project template and just convert it to a PDF and upload that. That's all you need to do. Some people have said, oh, I don't have time to do it in my class this week, or I'm not a teacher, or whatever. Use your imagination. If you are not actually able to try the tool for your final project in your classroom, then imagine what would be the problems in using this tool in your classroom or in your future classroom. And then fill the template in based on that. Next week, you will be assigned 3 peer reviews, and you would complete those peer reviews and then a self-report. That's the majority of your work in this course, is reporting on your final project and completing those peer reviews. If you don't complete the peer reviews, you will not earn a statement of accomplishment. We've made the final project contingent on that, because we want you to learn from your peers and give feedback to your peers. That's an important part of our learning process. So be on the lookout for those next week. We will help you through that. If you have any difficulties, let us know. Next week, we're going to be talking about defining your personal learning space and how you would keep learning beyond this MOOC. So I know that you're as excited as I am about figuring out that plan, and we have an interesting idea to help structure that. We have enjoyed this MOOC so much and interacting with you and hearing from you. So I'm excited about that. If you joined us late, you know that I'm broadcasting from a different location today. You see the plain gray background. I'm actually in a health science setting because we were invited to do a symposium today and it starts at 5 o'clock. So I didn't have time to do the hangout from work and then run over here and be here on time. So I'm broadcasting this from a chair right outside the symposium. So sometimes it got a little noisy and I apologize for that. So I'm going to sign off, stop the broadcast, but remember, we're never out of touch. You can use the discussion forums to continue talking about Mindomo and your ideas for using Mindomo. And if you have any questions about the final project, there's a special discussion forum for that. Debbie, you ask, let me put this question up. Debbie says, I noticed something on the rubric that confused me. In one area of the rubric, it says total points 9, but it appears that 12 points are available. I'll address that in questions about the course because we're also going to share the rubric next week. You are able to see the rubric right now. At the bottom of the syllabus. You've always had that option, but we're going to emphasize it and kind of talk through it next week before people start completing their peer assessments. So Debbie, I'll be sure and answer that and be sure that that's clear. So I think I'm going to have to go to our presentation for the symposium, but it's been great talking to you. I'm going to stop the broadcast. And Debbie, check back in our discussion forums and I'll be sure and answer that question. So goodbye for today, but remember that Susie's going to do a hangout at 9 o'clock in the morning. So check in the discussion forums and we'll have some more information for you. So goodbye from Houston, Texas. It's been great talking to you.